Welcome back to Susan Man Entertainment, your one stop for all things entertainment. And I wanted to kind of discuss everything in 2019 that I didn't get to discuss. I was gone. So here we go, 2019. I'll just discuss the movies that I watched that are of note that either I hated or I really liked or anything in between, and the video games because I don't get to talk about video games enough, and maybe we'll get to music at some point, but let's just stick to movies and video games. Let's start with movies. All right, so 2019, pretty much my favorite movie of that year was the best winner was Parasite. I loved that movie. I thought it was just such a unique movie in that it tried to blend every genre it could, and I think it succeeded pretty well. I mean, there's like really good performances. You really have no idea where the movie is going. So it has plenty of surprises. Like you really think it's going one way, but then it goes another way. And it just has such a style to it. I know it's a Korean film, but it should. You should have seen it if you haven't. If you haven't seen Parasite, go check that out. That was my favorite movie, and I think the Academy Awards took it as theirs as well. The Irishman, that was another really good epic. It's a bit long, um, and you follow the life of a gentleman that may or may have not killed Jimmy Hoffa. I know that there was a lot of debate on if he was telling the truth or not, but as far as it's Scorsese. So as far as Scorsese films, it's pretty good. I don't think it's one of his best, but it does have some of the better performances I've seen out of, he got, uh, Robert De Niro and Al Pacino again in a film, and then always wonderful Joe Pesci out of retirement. Solid performances all around. I wish it was maybe like 30 minutes, a little cut about 30 minutes of the movie, but that's just but overall it was a fine film. Some people really loved it. All right, let's look at some of those. The Platform, I remember that one. The Platform was kind of a interesting take. It was a kind of a indie, I wouldn't say horror films, not really horror, but one of those indie sci-fi kind of concept kind of movies where these people at the top of a platform get all this food, and if they save enough, obviously it was a as they as you get down to the bottom, there's less and less food for the people at the very bottom. And it's I don't really, I mean, the movie I guess is just like basically kind of saying like, hey, socialism may work, if we all just eat just enough, we're all going to survive. But there's no like, I mean, the characters, is there a way to escape the platform? Is there, why are they here? A lot of these answers aren't really a lot of these questions aren't really answered, but it's a fine film. It's worth a watch, absolutely. All right, Quentin Tarantino's Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, a movie that's pretty divisive. I'm gonna say I don't think it's his best film. Some people say it's his best film. I'm like, nah. I mean, it's kind of a love letter to Hollywood, but it's very self-indulgent, and the plot gets kind of thin. I mean, towards the end, yeah, it's like showing the life of these aging uh, movie stars in this particular time in movies through the 70s, but I think the ending does help out a bit. It's a little bit of that fantasy of like he did in Django Unchained and Glorious Bastards, where it's his take on a particular time, and obviously it's his own version of it, which is cool. Brad Pitt won Best Actor, but I don't know. I thought The Lighthouse, Willem Dafoe's performance in The Lighthouse was the best performance. It wasn't even nominated. I was like, what? I love segue to The Lighthouse. I love that movie. That was a movie that's not for everyone. It's about two guys essentially, and they're both holding secrets within each other at this lighthouse. It's just two guys. I mean, it holds the whole movie together. But man, I found it fascinating. I found the acting just, I was just I was stuck to the screen. Some people just were like, I can't. They came out of the theater and were like, what was that even about? They just didn't understand it. But I guess I got it, and so did a lot of people. Some people really loved The Lighthouse, and it was one of my favorites of the year. Ad Astra, I remember that with Brad Pitt. It was a decent sci-fi film, definitely worth a watch. I liked it. Us, I liked it more than Get Out. I thought it was. I maybe I just got more into it, but I really liked Us. It has an interesting kind of out there twist at the end, but it's definitely it. Once you watch, I mean, it hooks you. I think it does a very good job. Knives Out was definitely the best like murder mystery movie. I liked it. It was clever. The writing was good. The performances were awesome. Knives Out. Not much. I think the funniest movie of the year was Good Boys. That movie was just hilarious. These three kids, middle school kids, and they're growing apart, and they kind of go on like this a task to go save. They get in trouble and then try to get their way out of it, and just a lot of hilarious adult humor. I'm looking at. I didn't see Sound of Metal. Ford and Ferrari was a very fine film as well. Definitely great performances, and the editing was very awesome. Let's see. The Lodge was a kind of a twisted movie. I liked it. It was very twisted. The Lodge, definitely worth your time. Uncut Gems. Now that was, I just couldn't get into it. People were like praising Adam Sandler's performance, but I just didn't. I didn't think it was that special. For some reason I thought it was just like I thought it was but it was fast paced. It was, but the whole thing is that I didn't care if this guy did the things that he was going to do. I just couldn't get into he's an unlikable character. That's not. I mean, there's a lot of unlikable characters that you can at least be interested in whatever's happening to them. But just Uncut Gems, I just didn't care. Maybe I'm alone on that one, but I just couldn't get into that one. 1917 was probably the most beautiful looking film. I think Sam Mendes did that one, yeah, and it's a fantastic looking film, and the performances are very good. One of the better war movies in the past like 10 years. Definitely 1917 was very good. The Gentleman, Guy Ritchie's film. I liked it. It was kind of a return to form for Guy Ritchie. It's not breaking new ground, but I thought the performances and the humor were really good. So I like that. I haven't seen Sound of Metal. I'm like looking through these of movies I missed. Lion King. Just kidding. Let's see. Terminator Dark Fate. Yeah, it sucked. It sucked. I mean, it just kind of tried to rewrite everything it did, but no, I couldn't. It was hard to watch that film, actually. What else? Anything else I'm missing? I'm sure there is. I'm looking. That I actually saw. Yeah, A Marriage Story. That was. I thought that was great, man. I thought it was really realistic in the way that it showed this marriage kind of fall apart. But I didn't really. It was a different kind of. It wasn't as realistic because it's like these yuppies, and he's a art, theater guy or whatnot, and she's something else. Something that not a lot of people can relate to. I mean, some people can very specific and relate to this, but I did relate to the performances and understand the situation. And really fine performance by Laura Dern and Ray Liotta. Rest in peace. He is no longer with us. Let's see. I'm sure there's a few others that I missed. Oh, Vivarium. It was strange. I didn't get too into it. It was kind of one of those like indie, I wouldn't say horror, but it's just like it's kind of horrible the way that I think my favorite horror film was Ready or Not. Ready or Not was fantastic. I was into this movie all the way, and it has such an awesome ending. I wouldn't dare spoil it for anyone, but yeah, a woman that comes into a family of that owns board games, and anytime you want to marry in the family, they have to play a board game, and she picks the one that is unfortunate, and it just it's very tense. The performances, especially her, the main character, I forget her name, and the actress, I apologize, but Ready or Not, definitely one of the better films of the year, no doubt. Doctor Sleep, divisive. I haven't went back and watched it, but I thought it was pretty good, especially the the antagonist, the woman with in the hat. She was really good. I thought that was very fine. It Chapter 2. I didn't think it was as good as the first one, but it was all right. Pet Cemetery, nowhere even near as good as, I don't care what people say, like it can't even touch the first movie. So that's what I thought about that. It was okay, I guess, but it just wasn't anything that I thought I'd go back and watch. I'm trying to look at any of these other ones. So that might be doing it. Oh yeah, Guns Akimbo. Oh yeah, John Wick 3. Yeah, I already reviewed that. So Guns Akimbo. Interesting kind of indie film with Daniel Radcliffe. I think it kind of wears out its welcome after like an hour, maybe even 30 minutes. I don't know. Alita Battle Angel. I thought that was a fine adaptation. It's not like perfect, but I thought it was like great entertainment. So, and then what was that other one I really liked? It was Sometimes, Always, Never. I forget, but it's about a girl that goes and has to get an abortion, and it's like very realistic, almost like a docudrama kind of. But I thought that was a really good movie. I thought it was very good, very noteworthy, and all that. So, yes. Oh yeah, Joker. Didn't Joker come out? Yeah, Joker came out. That was also one of the better performances of the year. Joaquin Phoenix's Joker. Just basically an update version of Scorsese's The King of Comedy. It's fun that Robert De Niro, joins the cast. And then last I'll say is Jojo Rabbit. I thought that was very funny, dark, kind of a weird way of looking at the Holocaust slash, well, not so much of the Holocaust, but just World War II in general, and the Germans' obsession with Hitler and whatnot into like a little boy's fantasy. I thought it was pretty good. I mean, it's pretty funny, but it's also it doesn't stray away from the dark elements that is the that was World War II. All right, now we'll get on to that's basically the movies that I missed of 2019. Now let's go to the video games. I think my favorite game of 2019 was Resident Evil 2 remake. I thought it just did everything right. It had some very scary parts, bringing Mr. X into it constantly. Because in the first game, if you didn't know, you had to beat it once and then play it through a second time through the different character for him to like chase after you. I don't know why they did that, but it was the second one just hit all the it just it was just that's the way you do a remake. I went back and I played it twice through each character. It was fantastic. Resident Evil 2 remake, great game. Now I think Sekiro Shadows Die Twice won game of the year for a lot of it. I actually never played that, so not that I stray away from those Dark Souls type games. It's just I never played it. Control I played. I thought it was a fine game. The story is kind of it's there. It's kind of hard to get into. It's kind of clunky, but at least for me it was. Devil May Cry 5, I did play that just recently, so it probably wouldn't have ranked really high. It's fun. If you played one Devil May Cry, you played them all. I feel they're fine. They do their job. It's not big on story. Never played Death Stranding. Never wanted to because it just didn't seem like my kind of game. Even though I love, um, the creator of Metal Gear Solid, Hideo Kojima. Yeah. Just didn't seem the game kind of. I was hyped for it, but then I kind of read reviews and saw how the gameplay was. I was like, maybe this isn't for me. Untitled Goose Game, fun game, kind of a great little 2-player experience, but again, it's good in spurts. It's not like something you're gonna sit down and play like hours of. It's fun. It gives you a smile. There's some cool like puzzles in there, but it wears out its welcome. Also high on the list, Luigi's Mansion 3. That was a fantastic game. Excellent if you have like someone else to play with. I played with my wife, and we had a fantastic time. That was a great experience. We loved it. We went back and played it a second time not too long ago. Legend of Zelda Link's Awakening, the remaster. The definitive way to play that game. Absolutely. The art style was beautiful. Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2019. This is the one I kind of checked out on. I played it for like a month or so, and then it was just like catered. Like I mostly play it for the multiplayer, but man, the way they made their maps were not for 6v6 like the traditional, and it just led to camping, and there's just tons of camping in that game. I checked out. I was like, this ain't the game. Even the one traditional, they had a couple traditional 6v6 maps, but if you're playing the same map because you want that kind of experience over and over again, one map, maybe two, you're not going to have a lot of fun. Let's see. Mortal Kombat 11, fine game. Good stuff. Let's see. Kingdom Hearts 3, fantastic. But it's just, the story is like so... If I have to sit here and explain Kingdom Hearts story, this is going to be a 5-hour... it's like, it's going to be a 5-hour video. But, the gameplay is fun enough. Let's see. I'm sure there's more I'm looking at. But, yeah. I'm just like, oh yeah, Yoshi's Crafted World. That was a fine game. I love that. Me and the wife also played that. It was very fun. Let's see. Yeah, Untitled Goose Game. Katana Zero. Oh yeah, A Plague Tale, Innocence. I really liked it. My daughter, she played it. She really liked it. The story's fine. It's kind of gritty, but it's mostly sneaking. But there is some interesting. You're like very underpowered, so a lot of it's like kind of a puzzle of like getting through a certain area. Without, because if they find, you have a slingshot basically, or a sling, everyone else has swords, so you can get one hit if they get to you. Pokemon, not a big Pokemon fan, so Life is Strange 2, didn't really play it. Oh yeah, Super Mario Maker 2, it's a great game. What else can I say? The Outer World, never played it really. What else? Apex Legend. Yeah, I played Apex I guess when it started, so it was fine. Control, Sekiro, Shadows Die Twice. I guess I'll have to go back and play Sekiro. But I did play a ton of Elden Ring, so... but we'll get to that when we get to that. So, yeah, here's the video. 2019, wrap it up. Those were my top movie was Parasite. Top game was Resident Evil 2 Remake. And worst movie? You would think it's Lion King. And you'd be right. What a freaking terrible movie. It just did not belong. Now we're waiting on The Little Mermaid remake in 2023, which, I'm gonna... And I saw like the Pinocchio remake. I was like, I'm done with these. I even saw the Lady and the Tramp remake, that's my favorite Disney animated feature. And I thought it did okay. it was okay for what it was. It wasn't a bastardization as it could have been, but you know. But I'll get to 2020 where things were a little scarce. If you enjoyed this video, comment below and stay tuned for more Susan Man Entertainment.